pronounce the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagavan with my feelings of thanks and gratitude to everybody for making it convenient to be here for this satsang. Thank you very much for your gracious presence. Because every occasion helps me to think, to read, to write, and finally share, which I consider it as my only sadhana. So I thank you from that point of view as you are helping me to proceed along this path of sadhana. Well, this morning, we'd like to talk to you on certain important aspects. You must be hearing of people talking about birth and rebirth. This morning newspaper says that a girl of 7 years, claiming to be a close friend of Dalai Lama, and that girl also says that Dalai Lama would come and see her very soon. She also mentions the names of her parents in the previous life, just a 7-year-old. Even earlier we came across certain episodes where children started recollecting their past lives, mentioning their parents, names, family, relationship, where a child is known to have taken all the villagers, everybody, to the place where child lived in the previous life, pointing out to her previous husband, previous wife, previous children, including the rooms and the furniture. So birth and rebirth theory cannot be dismissed, cannot be denied. We cannot say it is irrational and unscientific. For information, life is a combination of both rationality and irrationality. Why I love a person, I may not give any reason for it. Why I love a person, there may not be a scientific explanation, proof, demonstration, or an experiment. Why I love, I do not know. No reason. No rationale behind it. So, there are certain things which are irrational, illogical, unscientific, unreasonable. Yet, we have to accept them. We cannot deny. While at the same time, we accept that which is scientific, which is logical, which is rational also at the same time. Therefore, my friends, what I want to draw your attention to is this point, that it is a combination of rationality and irrationality. If you think that I stick on to rationality only, you are mechanical. If you hold on to irrationality only, you are blind. Therefore, birth and rebirth is one such concept that may seem to be irrational, but at the same time cannot be denied. Whatever may be, what could be the reason for rebirth? What could be the reason, perhaps, what could be the reason? When we study the life of people, right from childhood, one has inkling for music. Right from childhood, one has liking for literature. Right from the beginning, one wants to be a painter. One wants to study science. One wants to work on machines. These are certain inclinations or tendencies or traits which are not cultivated. Please understand. Poetry is not cultivated. Reading poetry can be cultivated. You can read a poem, understand that I can create that interest in you, but no one can make you a poet. A poet is born, not trained. A painter is born, not trained. So there are certain qualities within us which blossom in course of time, which are brought forward from the previous life. Then why and how? How do you say that? First of all, let me say the cause for rebirth is mind. Mind is the cause for rebirth. That's the reason why great thinkers, great seers, sages, and spiritual texts want us to grow beyond the mind. To grow beyond the mind. And the spiritual doctrine or spiritual theories also prescribe methods to grow beyond the mind. Methods also. Some pray, some say, yes, through prayer you can grow beyond the mind. Okay? Some say, no. Meditation is the only way to go beyond the mind. Whatever may be, people suggest methods to go or to grow beyond the mind. No religion says, limit yourself to the mind. No religion. No philosopher would ever say, act according to the mind. No. Every school of philosophy wants us to go beyond the mind. Why? Because mind is the cause for birth and rebirth. Well, the question may come, why? All right, let me be born again. What is the harm? What is the harm? Let me be born again. Good. If you think so, good. But life experiences, truly speaking, will not make us say that. Life experiences will not prompt us to say that. Because more so, in the present times, when there are no proper relationships, when there are no values, when the standard of life is deteriorating, declining day by day, if anyone asks you, would you like to relive your life? I'm sorry, I don't want to. Would you like to relive your life? No, I don't want. Why? I am bored. Why? I am tired. Why? I am vexed. Disgust, vexation, boredom, repetitive life, we don't want again. However, life may be luxurious, extravagant, yet we don't want to live again. We don't want to be born again. Therefore, all religions suggest that we should work while alive in this life itself to be birthless. We are born not to be born again. We die such that we don't have to die once again. Meaning, this should be the final. I don't want brought forward something like accounts book. enough is enough. So all religions want this life should be the final, not to be born again. And that state of birthlessness, that state of deathlessness is what is called liberation or Kaivalya, K-A-I-V-A-L, Kaivalya, Y-A, Kaivalya, or moksha, M-O-K-S-H-A, or liberation, or kingdom of heaven, or nirvana. These are all different names given to the same state, which will not allow us to be born again, which will keep us with the divine, in the divine, of the divine, in a state of bliss forever and ever, which is non-dual. Therefore, my friends, mind is the cause for birth and rebirth. Then the question may arise, what is it that the mind is doing? What is it that the mind is doing to make me born again? What is it doing? Just let's observe the present life. What is the mind doing? He is my friend. He is my enemy. He is my friend because he says Sai Ram to me every time. He is my enemy because he avoids me. He is my friend, he obliges me. He is not my friend because he does not oblige me. These are all recorded in the mind. They are the reason for prejudices, for bias. We develop certain feelings towards people. All these things are stored in the mind. And the mind is very anxious to show off. Yesterday, you did not look at me. Therefore, today, I will not look at you. Yesterday, you insulted me. I am waiting to pay you back in doubles and multiples. Mind always is expressive because it records all these things. Those things which are recorded are called vrittis, V-R-I-T-H-I-S. Vrittis. Vritti is a Sanskrit word which is nothing but recording of experiences, consequences, or results of our actions. These are all recorded. It will express any moment, every time. Because that what is inside will have to come out naturally. But there is also another situation. Previous life experiences are also recorded in the mind. And they are called vasanas. V-A-S-A-N-A-S. Vasanas are the experiences and the results of the past life. Vrittis are the actions, reactions of the present life. Mind is a beautiful DVD or a CD. Body is a player. Body is only a player. Come on, put the DVD. It begins to. Supposing you hear some bad music, there is no point in breaking the CD. The singer is like that. Supposing you record my music, what will happen? You have to break the player, you have to break the CD also. Because I am not a singer by any standard. No. Therefore, my friends, there is no point in blaming the player or the CD. Because the player plays that what is in the CD or DVD. Player is the body. And the music that you hear are the results, are the consequences, are the manifestations, are the expressions of the CD or the DVD kept there. It may play the present experiences, what we call vrittis, or it may play past experiences, vasanas. I think to this extent I could make use of my preliminary, basic, fundamental knowledge of a computer. Therefore, my friends, mind is a cause for births and rebirths because it has got all the recordings and experiences of the previous life, what we call vasanas. Now, how shall I get out of it? I am already in trouble with the present. I am trying to get out of the present. How about the past? Past is also bothering me. Past is also hanging heavy. I am making loans, and the loans of the past years also are haunting me. Therefore, past loans, present loans, will have to be repaid with compound interest. With compound interest I have to pay. That's all. So what shall I do now? The Vedanta, the philosophy says, until you find peace and happiness within you, you cannot get out of the mind. The Vedanta, the philosophy clearly says that you are not the body. No. That you are not the mind. Mind is as much an instrument as the body. Intellect is as much as an instrument as the body. Leg, hand, eye, ear, mind, intellect. That's all. These are seen outside, they are within. Just as some parts of the car are seen outside. Bulbs, tires, they are outside. Some parts of the car are inside, like brake, steering. They are inside, switch. They are inside. Therefore, friends, what we can do is, until we find happiness within, I cannot go beyond the mind. If I depend on the mind for my happiness, the mind will show the other extreme also. Mind will put us to any torture. That's the reason why we are like this. I am quite happy now, very good. After 1 hour you begin to feel whether I am going to be happy tomorrow or not. I am happy now, but my worry is whether I will be happy tomorrow or not, next month or not. There are very good people who will worry about 10 years after also. And we also worry about our misery last month, last week also. Therefore, we are not living in the present. So mind makes you happy for some time. It will make you unhappy also. Therefore, let me not depend on my mind for my happiness. Because it will show me the other side also. Like a pendulum, it won't stop at one side unless the pendulum is damaged. It has to move, that's all. The pendulum has to oscillate. This extreme and that extreme. It goes on happiness, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness. Success, failure. Light, dark, duality. So the mind goes on oscillating. So how can I depend on my mind, which is not steady for my happiness? Therefore, my friends, The philosophy, the Vedanta says, if you want to go beyond the mind, never depend upon the mind for your happiness. Then the question is, how to know whether this happiness is of the mind or the happiness is of that of beyond the mind? The happiness is certainly 100% is of the mind only. Why? Happiness, unhappiness. Happiness is a dual state because there is unhappiness also. Happiness is followed by unhappiness as it's a shadow. One drinks happiness. Cirrhosis of the liver, damage, unhappiness. So unhappiness follows happiness like a shadow, inevitable. Upwards and reverse are the same coin. But the state beyond the mind, the state above the mind is not happiness. It is not dual. It is what is called bliss, ananda. Bliss or ananda is above mind state or beyond mind state or no mind state. Above that. Bliss. What is bliss? Bliss is non-dual. Because there is nothing like unbliss, non-bliss. Bliss is bliss, that's all. Bliss is bliss. Whereas happiness, unhappiness, success, failure. Whereas bliss is bliss, that's all. So the non-dual experience of bliss is possible above the mind only. Until that state, we have to be born again and again. Birth and rebirth are certain, are sure, until we recognize the fact that there is bliss above the mind, that there is bliss beyond the mind, which will wipe off, erase, remove all vasanas of the mind. All vasanas, tendencies of the mind are all wiped off, are all erased when once we experience the non-dual ananda beyond the mind. My friends, these are the things that we have to learn. These are things that we have to share. These are things that we have to ponder over repeatedly because we are advancing in our age and we cannot afford to spend time in stories and jumping around all our life. The time has come when we have to go deep and deeper into the philosophy. The time has come that we have to go into deeper and deeper into the philosophy. Between us, since we are so close, one gentleman asked me, why don't you write articles on your own personal experiences? You have plenty of experiences. Why don't you also write articles on the experiences of your friends, because you have a lot of friends being in the organization for 35 years or even more. Why don't you write? Why don't you write your own biography? We are going to publish. This happened just 1 week ago. Since we are so close, I'm just sharing with you without mentioning the details. You know what I said? My experiences are not that great as to be written. I am not at all great. And I don't consider myself great or special. I am very, very normal. I am very, very common, average, that's all, nothing special. Therefore, with what authority you want me to write my own experiences? And about the experience of my friends known to me, well, we have got whole stores full of books covering experiences only. 1,000 or 2,000 books are there on it. You can read any book. That man was very angry with me. Then he mentioned the names of two persons. That man has written his biography. This man has written his biography. Why don't you write your biography? A violent devotion, or devotional violence, or spiritual attack. Then I told him with folded hands. Of the two individuals you mentioned, one individual wrote his biography at a time when he is very, very old. At a time when the world has recognized him, that he is great. He has known that he is great. And his greatness is widespread by that time. At the right age, the world considers him great and he knows he is great. At that time he has written his biography. I am not great. I am not known to be great. Therefore, I cannot be equated with that great gentleman whose name he has mentioned. And then he mentions him, other gentleman. He has asked him, okay. He is a very violent man because he belongs to violent area. Then I told him, the other man whom you mentioned thinks he is great. The first man is great. The second man thinks he is great. Therefore he has written. I don't think that I am great. I am neither great nor think I am great. How can I write? Please leave me. He stopped talking to me for the last 1 week. He didn't like my idea. What to do? The people are not prepared to accept that you are ordinary, that you are a very common average man. They want you to consider you are special. Therefore, my friends, until we realize the world of happiness within us, the joy within us, beyond the mind, there is no question of attaining the state of immortality or amrutatva or birthlessness or deathlessness. That's what it is said. And then what is it that deludes us? What is it that puts us to ignorance? Many people say Maya, Maya. Many people also, those that don't know the language also, they use Maya. Some gentlemen are saying, Anil, Maya, Maya, everything is Maya, Maya. And very good, you have picked up the best word. The best word, everything is Maya, correct? Delusion. What is Maya? The Maya is this. Though the end of life is fast approaching, the fellow on bed knows that life is coming to a close. But still, there is a thought that he won't die. Doctor said you are soon to die. Let the doctor die, I am not going to. Nurses are waiting for your death. Let them wait for others, I am not going to. ECG, all those graphs say you are going to die. That is a mistake of the ECG. I am not going to. This is delusion. This is Maya. To think that I won't die, though I am sure to die, is Maya. There cannot be greater example for Maya or illusion more than this. Therefore, when death is certain, it is quite wise enough, a challenge, to be deathless. Death is certain, but we can be deathless. On one hand, you say death is sure. On the other hand, you say that you can be deathless. Are you sane or insane? My friends, if we examine what is the cause for birth, then I come to know it's the mind that is the cause for birth. When I go beyond the mind, I won't be born at all. When I am not born, there is no question of death also. That which is born is sure to die. That which is never born, there is no question of death also. A fellow who appears for examination, he may pass or fail. If he doesn't appear for examination, no results. Have you passed? Sir, I didn't appear for examination. Have you failed? No, I didn't appear for examination. Therefore, deathlessness meaning birthlessness. Birthless meaning no mind state. NO. Beyond the mind state. That is sadhana you have to do. How can you do it? What kind of sadhana we are doing? Please examine. You find some people hurriedly going around Ganesha, running very fast, because their number should be over 9 or 108, whatever it may be. If you ask, why are you going around like that, sir? Some health problem. Oh, very good. We find some people going to Gayatri, chanting mantra loudly. Good, you are doing nice job. Yes, what do you want? Some family problem. Oh, good. So all our sadhana is problem oriented. If there is no problem, goodbye Ganesha, goodbye Gayatri. I'll see you when I get into trouble later. See you later. Bye. This is what is called business. Business. All our sadhana has become, unfortunately, a matter of business. That's why we go to God, we visit temples, we go to Tirupati to find a solution or to express our gratitude by sacrificing the hair which can grow within a week of time, so easily, inexpensive, for all that God has given us in exchange. My friends, this is not correct. This is not correct. The kind of sadhana that we do as a solution to our problem is business but not spiritual. Then what is spirituality? As Baba puts it, CIA, constant integrated awareness. I think of you, God, in my pleasure. Oh God, I think of you in my pain also. Pain and pleasure I take as your gifts, my Lord, as your prasadam. Why? Because pleasure should not make me proud and pain should not make me frustrated. Let me take it as prasadam. Pleasure to improve, pain to learn a lesson. Pain as a test to my devotion, pleasure as a reward, as an act of grace on your part. Anything I take it with equal pleasure. That is devotion. That is true sadhana. But unfortunately, we are not anywhere around it. Somebody was telling me, Anil Kumar, I came here 20 years back. He is already nearing 70. Because I know him very well, I told him. He could have waited for 10 more years. so that he can see him in the next life. See this, how and why we don't take opportunities to spend time with the Lord. Why we don't take every occasion to see Him, every moment to think about Him, every act to serve Him, every thought of appreciation, every act as a matter of worship. Why don't we do that? Because our mentality has become a matter of a bargain, a matter of financial transaction. Even our human relationships are not selfless. When I say, how are you? Immediately I come forward with a request. Or else, I don't recognize you. This is how things are. Therefore, my friends, the climax, the topmost spiritual sadhana, highest spiritual sadhana, the only spiritual sadhana, only is that which will make you feel one with God, which will make you feel and experience one with God, that God is not separate from you. Anything you do, that is correct sadhana. All the remaining are a preparation, that's all. To avoid doing misdeeds, to avoid unnecessary indulgence. But the true spirituality is identity with the divinity. That is spiritual sadhana. Why not I do it? When it is the only sadhana, why not I do it? The point is because I think God is in a temple. I think God is in a church. I think God is in a synagogue. I think God is in Gurudwara. I think God is in a mosque. So long you think God is outside, at a place, in a temple of worship, we can never realize Him, even after hundreds of lives to come. Therefore, the only way to find identity with God is to know that God is within you. That God is within you only. Huh? Yes. Then why should I come to Puttaparthi? When God is in me, why should I come to Puttaparthi? Why? To know that God is in you. To hear from Baba that He is in you. To listen to His discourse, informing you that He and you are one. Only to know that He is in me, I come all along with visa and passports. But it is worth it. It's worth it. Because staying away, far away, I think God is right sitting on the moon. And God is everywhere. He is present at some other loka, in some other world. The greatest illusion that could ever happen. So I come to Puttaparthi to learn from my divine master, Bhagavan Sri Satsang Baba. Only to know that He is within me, that's all. Then if I put a question, is he in Whitefield or is in a Kodaikanal, it means some more training is necessary. Probation has to be extended. Intensive, rigorous training is necessary. That's the correct term. He is within me. That is thing that has to be experienced. So the confusion, chaos, absence of clarity is because of this duality that I am separate from God. That God is present somewhere else. I can meet Him towards the weekend when I am free. This weekend I have to meet my God. Yes. This weekend I see good. So this kind of psychology, that God is present at a distance, led to confusion, led to chaos, led to misunderstanding, created a gulf between me and my God. Therefore, what is the result? I am subjected to three kinds of troubles. Three kinds of troubles. Some of the troubles which are spiritual troubles, divine ordained troubles are the daivika. Some of the troubles I face from the fellow living beings are the bhautika, are the daivika, divine, adhyatmika, spiritual, bhautika, physical. Three kinds of problems put me to difficulties. Why? Because of my ignorance. The ignorance is to feel that God is separate from me. The ignorance is that God is present in a distant land. That is the cause for this. Then how do you understand? How to find out that you have this awareness? How to find out so and so has awareness, that so and so has known the correct divinity within him. So and so has experienced God within him. How to know that? One point is, the one who experienced God within him is Jnani, Jnani. Jnani meaning the man of wisdom. But usually we think Jnani is the one who read number of books. Librarian reads so many books. We think Jnani is a scholar, not necessarily. DVDs, CDs are greater scholars than this. Jnani is not a scholar. Jnani is the one with experiential knowledge. Experiential knowledge. Knowledge, experienced, becomes wisdom. Without wisdom, knowledge is allergy. Knowledge is allergy without experience. With experience, knowledge becomes the wisdom. Therefore, my friends, this sort of a wisdom, how to know that we have wisdom, how to identify that so-and-so has wisdom. Simple example. How to know I am a rich man? You can see my house. I got 25 bedrooms. Oh, I see. How do you know that I am a rich man? I have got so many cars. Oh, I see. Good. See my bank account. Good. So, you can know your richness. I know my richness. You may not know, but I know because my passbook tells me how rich I am. Of course, truly speaking, Baba knows how rich I am because he is fond of calling me Anil Kumar, not Anil Kumar. And he adds one more word. He is Anil Kumar. His bank balance is always nil. So anyway, that apart, everyone knows how rich one is because of the bank passbook. But no one knows whether he has wisdom or not. Do you have wisdom? Well, I don't know. Do you have wisdom? I am not sure. Do you have wisdom? I am yet to get it. Do you know wisdom? I don't know what it is. Why? Do you have knowledge? Yes. How do you say? I'm MSc PhD. Good. Knowledge can be known, knowledge can be estimated, but wisdom cannot be detected, cannot be estimated, cannot be identified, cannot be known. Why? This knowledge I get with the feeling of I-ness. I am reading, I am getting degree, I know, I read, I studied, I have gathered information, I attended university, I spent time in the laboratory of this university, I studied under that professor. So all knowledge is gathered from this central point of I-ness, I read, I is the I is all there. But in wisdom, that I-ness is not there. I is completely gone. So do you have wisdom? I don't know. Even if you ask some sage or some seer of deep meditation, oh Swamiji, are you a jnani? We don't know. Why? Don't you know that much? After I know how much of jnana I have. All the jnana you have only ajnana or ignorance. Jnani can never say that he is jnani. Jnani means a wise man or a man of wisdom. He will never say, I am jnani, man of wisdom. No, because I is not there. When I is there, he can claim knowledge. Knowledge can be claimed because of I-ness. Wisdom cannot be detected, identified because of absence of I-ness. Why? What is this I? What is the harm that it does? What harm does it do? What is the harm? That I which has got the knowledge can also have wisdom. Why? Maybe your question. The answer is simple. The I, what I call, the I, how I use, the I, the context in which it is referred to, is outer. Well, I'm tall, okay, body. I'm intelligent, mind. I'm handsome, skin. I love that, your feelings. I hate your feelings. All this I, the so-called utilitarian, for utility, for practical purpose, for introductory purpose, for mutual acquaintance. The I that I use is always outer, is always external, is always physical, worldly, transient, ephemeral, momentary. But the real I is different from outer I. Outer I is the I, you know me? I am the convener. That's okay. I am Professor Outer. But the real I within is a transcendental. Outer I is ephemeral. The inner I is transcendental. The outer I is psychological. Inner I is intuitive. The outer I is worldly. The inner I is spiritual. The outer I is different from person to person. I from Argentina. I from Mexico. I from US. Different. I am a professor. I am a carpenter. I am an engineer. So outer I is different. Differs from person to person. But the inner I is uniform. Inner I is same in everybody. It is not changing, unchangeable, changeless. The outer dies along with the body and mind. Inner I is deathless, immortal. Therefore, that inner I, which is deathless, which is common, which is uniform, blissful, immortal, blemishless, eternal, is spiritual in its content. That I, if it is experienced, that is sadhana. But our sadhana is not towards that. Outer eye satisfaction. Oh Venkateshwara, let me have one more car. Oh Bhagavan Baba, let me have 2 more promotions. All that we ask for the promotion of outer eye or ego. Outer eye is ego. Inner eye is consciousness or Atma. Therefore, my friends, true spirituality is an investigation, is an exploration, is an experience, is oneness, is identity with the inner eye, nothing to do with the outer. That is the spiritual sadhana, what we are supposed to do. Then the next question is this. Life is uncertain anyway, more uncertain now, because trains are not running fairly well. Constant derailment of bogies, compartments. We are not sure of safe return more nowadays because of road accidents. Roads also challenging. It will give you some experience of traveling in a valley. It will also give you experience of the horse ride. Why not? And we may be met with an accident because of traffic jam, which is more and more day by day. In certain cities like Bangalore and Bombay, unless you start at home 3 hours in advance, you cannot reach airport. Because traffic jam is like that. So when the life is so uncertain, more in the recent ways because of sophistication, conveyance, fast mode of conveyance. Supposing my life ends now, what about all the spiritual sadhana I did so far? I did so much of sadhana so far. Life has come to an end. What will happen to them? If a fellow leaves this planet, what will happen to his property? It will go to his children. If he has no children, government is ready to take over. So there are people to take over. Of course, nowadays they take over even while we are alive. That's a different, an improvement now. So, in other matters, we are sure how things go after the end of our life. But how about sadhana? Should I begin again? Who is God? What is God? Where should I go? Shall I begin again? No. Bhagavad Gita clearly said, Bhagavan Krishna said clearly, the sadhana that you did so far till now will be continued in the next life also. If you have done 50% of sadhana, you will start from the state of 50, not from 0. Spiritual calculation, accountancy seems to be quite compassionate. Spiritual accountancy, audit seems to be more kind and compassionate, considerate enough. Therefore, we don't have to worry what will happen to my sadhana, which I did so long. No. It will be added, brought forward next life. Don't worry. From 50 you will start. That's what God has said, which I really a promising statement by God Himself. Then we may say, why people don't believe this? Why? Why people don't believe that your sadhana will be continued next life? Why people do not believe that there is an inner eye and an outer eye? That outer eye that dies, the inner eye that does not die. Why people do not believe? Clearly Gita says, there are three types of people who do not believe. Let us see to which category we belong to. Three types of people. The first type of people are those who have no faith. Very clear. Faithless fellows. They have no faith in themselves also. That's why they always look very confusing. You see the faces of those people who have no faith in themselves. Anxiety, tension, stress, all these qualities are very, very clear on the faces of those people who have no faith. The second category of people are those who are psychologically weak, weak-minded people. What will happen? Anything may happen. What will happen? Nothing will happen. You don't know. No, I don't know. Shall I sit there? No, I don't know. I will come there. Anything may happen to me. Weak minds. How you do this? I'm not sure. They have no confidence in this. Weak-minded people have no confidence in themselves. They have no hopes. They don't know what a promise is. They have no idea what future is. Weak-minded people. They are full of doubt. So, faithless people, full of worry, stress and tension. Weak-minded people, full of doubt, hopeless. No promising, no promises, no future, because they are weak-minded. And third category of people are lazy fellows. Lazy fellows. We ask somebody, what are you doing there? Well, I am spending time. You are not spending time. Time is spending. Time is spent on its own without you. Some people say, I am spending time. Time is spent on its own. In the meantime, you are burnt off, finished. So, I am not spending time, I am spending my longevity. I am spending my own life, but not the time. Many people say I am spending time, chalta hai duniya. No, dunya is always chalta. But we will also permanently gone. We are spending our life. That we have to understand. Therefore, lazy people, who are lazy? Lazy people are those who don't do any work. Any work. Sluggish, oversleep, gluttony, overeating, drinking, and also gambling. Lazy ones, what do? They also cannot understand the presence of the true I, the inner I, the consciousness, the true self, then they cannot know. Then the question arises, Baba, when God is in me, why should I go to the temple? Why should I buy coconuts and flowers? Flowers from the neighbor's garden. Flowers from the same temple and offer to the same God. The plants belong to the temple authority. They collect these flowers after make a garland into God. I don't know. Then why should I go to the temple then? Then, oh God, when you are in me. Simple answer. So long you have body identification, so long you have body attachment, you should definitely go to temple. I'm attached to my body. How do you know I'm attached to body? Because I know I'm here. I know I'm conscious of my body. I'm conscious of my dress. I'm conscious of my personality and the body. Such fellow should necessarily go to the temple. But the one who thinks that he is not the body, the one who knows that he is not the body, the one who understands and experiences that he is beyond the body and the mind, that he is not its simple I encaged within this body, that he is universal, that he is not individual. The outer I is individual, the inner I is universal. So long I think the outer I is the body, I must go to the temple. Then once I understand that I am that inner I, which is universal, well, wherever I go, it is a temple. Whosoever I meet, he or she is God Himself. I meet only God, that's all. I don't need X, Y, Z. Tom, Dick and Harry. Everyone is God, that's all. Such a person need not necessarily go to a temple to see God because he sees Him everywhere. That's what it tells you. I've got another point to share with you. I know the time is up. But this point also has got to be known. My friends, the current problem, latest problem of elderly people is this. I earned so much of money, but no one seems to care me. I gave so much of property to my children. I'm not sure who will take care of me. I helped everybody in the family, but I do not know who will come to my help tomorrow. The son is good, but something wrong with the daughter-in-law. Daughter is good, something totally wrong with the son-in-law. Daughter wants to help, but son-in-law says no. Son says he wants to help, but daughter-in-law says nothing doing. Who will come to my help? That's the problem. If you visit any home for the aged, visit any centers, home for the aged, Vruddhashrama, this is the thought. How your son kicked you out of your house. Hi, my son kicked me out of the house. How your daughter-in-law facilitated easy dispatch. The second thought would be, what medicine you are taking for your BP, what medicine you are taking for sugar, which is the best doctor. These are the only topics. But a spiritual man will not talk like that. Please take it further. A spiritual man will not speak in terms of people who may or may not come to his rescue in times of need. He will say, after all, whether you come or not, there is my God who will help me. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? There is God after all. You may say that you are helping me, my son. Understand, God has given you opportunity to serve me. If not you, some other fellow will come and serve and prove that you are a buffalo. Therefore, let's not blame our children. Let's not blame our relationships. Let us not live in constant fear that who will take care of us. No one can take care of anybody. Please understand. Prime ministers, kings, presidents, so many thousands of people around, they also die. Because nobody can take care of anybody. With children or without children. With spouse or without spouse. With property or without property. With position or retired. Let us have this important rule that nobody can take care of anybody. Only God will take care of us. But where is He? He is in you. Why is He not coming? You are not calling. I go on saying, oh X, come here, I am dying. Oh, why? You come here, I am dying. Oh, son, I paid you so much money, what happened to you? Oh, Rao, oh, Sharma, Rao. So, they are not coming. But I am not asking. My God is inside. So, God is inside you. He is waiting for a phone call from you. He is just waiting for your call. But you say, missed calls. Not necessary. I call others. They will say, chod do. Yes. If not tomorrow, better you leave today. Because today is a holiday, they can finish off everything associated with that. Tomorrow is working day, I have no leave. If you die tomorrow, it's a problem. So today is better. Therefore, my friends, reliance. I'm not speaking of the company Reliance. Reliance or dependence on others, children, daughters, sons, relations, friends, is foolish, stupidity. Because it is the way of the world to be ungrateful. Somebody was telling me, Anil Kumar, my son did this, my son. I gave him patience because we need to be sympathetic to people. I said, sir, make Xerox copies of your story. It is the same with all the 25,000 people in Corona. Same story. Because the world is such. The way of the world is such. People are very busy. They have no time to care for anybody. They have no time even to eat. Then how do you expect them to be taken care of? Therefore, my friends, let us understand that we are very fortunate because we have nobody to care for us. Very fortunate are those who have nobody to care for. Why? I depend more on God. I depend more on God when I don't have anybody. But if I have somebody, I will depend on them. I develop a kind of attachment. My devotion will be less. And this attachment will make me more and more identified with other man. And toward the end of life, I will think of him who is the cause for my rebirth. So the man who helps you may seem to be helping you, but ultimately is harming you because of the attachment that you develop towards him. Because he is the thought toward the end of our life, which is the cause for rebirth. If there are none, should go. I will depend on God more. I will be more devoted. No one need to help me because he is helping everybody. And he will take care of me. This devotion gives me enough of wisdom, practical knowledge. This helps me to identify with the inner eye and no longer the outer eye. And Bhagavan be with you forever and evermore. Sai Ram. active participation.